Hey guys, Jamie Grace here, and I've been seeing quite a bit of comments in the last few months on some of my videos to talk a little bit more about like mental health and anxiety and things like that. And I think a lot of it is because when it comes to anxiety and stress and overthinking and overanalyzing and worry and fear and doubt, it's very easy to feel like you're alone. But the reality is that you're not alone. So many people deal with these types of things on a daily basis, and it's good to know you're not alone, but it's also really sad and really heartbreaking to know that so many people are facing these types of challenges. I feel like more than ever in the news, we've been seeing so many influential people that have taken their lives, and I will never claim to know anyone's story or to say that I know exactly what was going on, but I do personally know what it's like to be diagnosed with anxiety and to deal with some of those symptoms, and in my early teens to have dealt with some moments of wanting to end my life and not wanting to be here anymore. For me personally, one of the things that helps me out so much is talking it out and just having a place of hope and a place of knowing that I'm not alone and that I'm not by myself. And that's actually one of the main reasons why I started this YouTube channel 12 years ago. I started it to talk about Tourette syndrome, OCD, ADHD, and anxiety, which is my full collection. I started this channel and my other channel to start talking about what I was dealing with and what I was going through, and to hopefully find friends and build community around that, because talking is just so helpful and so cathartic for me. Everyone has different ways that they cope and different ways that they deal with things, but if you're anything like me and you enjoy talking it out and you need to kind of talk it out and you thrive on being able to explain everything multiple times, then it can be really frustrating and discouraging and confusing when you feel like there's nobody to talk to, and when you feel alone, and when you feel like nobody's there. Some of the reasons why you might feel that way is, one, maybe you don't have a lot of people in your life. I know I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, which is, again, another reason why I started my YouTube channel, because I was like, somebody's got to listen to me. Or it could be that anxiety and that fear and that doubt that's preventing you from speaking up, and that's preventing you from talking because maybe you're afraid of what people will think about you, or you're afraid of the stigma behind going to counseling, or you're afraid of the stigma behind getting help in general. And it can be really confusing and depressing and frustrating, and ultimately it can be very lonely. Through it all, if I'm able to help someone, then I'm really honored to do that. But all I know how to do is share my story. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a licensed therapist, or I'm not in any related field, but I can share my story and hope that it can be helpful for someone. One of the first things I would say if you're having a hard time with opening up and wanting to share is to try. Now, that may not mean to the first person that you see, but it could mean that it's a family member, a school counselor, a church leader, someone that you're really close to, a close friend, or maybe it is a therapist, maybe it is a counselor. Try to open up, try to share a little bit of your heart. I know it can be difficult if you have opened up before and you've been let down, and someone has, they said they were going to be there and they weren't. I've experienced that before. I know that's really difficult, but don't know until you try. And if you're already in this place of frustration and loneliness and fear, you need to know that you're already so brave and you've already been through so much that you can handle this. You can handle trying. Trust me on that. Don't ever let yourself get so far down and so deep down that you just end up breaking down crying for no reason, and then you have to take days just to recover from the meltdown you just had. I'm not saying that I've ever personally experienced that, but I am saying that it's so much better to try to get ahead of that than to not. It's just kind of basic knowledge. I know that it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know that. But try to talk it out. Try to find someone that you can talk to, that you can reach out to. And personally, I'm a Christian, and so I do believe that God loves us and that He hears us when we cry. But I also do believe that there are a lot of people in the Bible that went through some awful stuff, some horrendous things. So I believe that our lives on earth are not going to be perfect. But one thing that has helped me is prayer. That doesn't always mean sitting down with my arms folded and saying, "Hi, Jesus." Sometimes that means laid out on the floor going, "Come on." I believe that God loves us through all of that stuff, and He's patient with us through all of that stuff. And you can talk to Him, even if you've never tried it before. Don't worry about making sure you pray perfectly or that the people at the church would be impressed. It's not about that. It should never be about any of that stuff. It's about you having that safe place to be able to open your heart and open your mouth and just share what's going on. Don't bottle it inside. Again, I don't know this from personal experience. Another thing that has really helped me is just generally literally attempting to keep positivity in my home and in my life. So being intentional about the type of music that I listen to, because sometimes if I listen to too many songs about people being angry or being mad or being frustrated, then I'll end up being angry and mad and frustrated. I think I'm kind of quirky, like a lot of people actually are kind of quirky in that sometimes sad songs make me feel better, but don't trick yourself into thinking that happy songs won't also make you happy. I'm not saying that you have to go turn on my music, because I get it. It sounds like cotton candy sometimes, but like it's okay to play uplifting music, to play positive music. You can follow me on Apple Music and Spotify if you need some tips, because I really do think it's important to keep positive music in your heart and in your home. Just, you know, when you're going to bed at night, like when you're showering, when you're cooking, just keep positivity always just in the background. Even when it comes to television and the movies that you watch, try to be careful about those things and know that they might, not always, but they might attribute to the way that you think and your thought process and the way that you go about your day. I'm not about to try to sell you guys oils, and please, I mean this with all the love in the world, please don't try to sell me any either. But sometimes having good scents in your home can be very relaxing, and so I do have little thingamabobs around my house, put a little lavender in it, and it just smells nice, and it's very calming and relaxing, and I do enjoy it. Try to get some sleep, and even if you can't sleep, try to get some rest. Just try to get in the bed before it gets too late. Try to get out of the bed before it gets too late. I know it's not always easy to do that, especially if you do have anxiety or depression or a similar condition. I know that sometimes you feel like you have to stay there. You can't move. You can't, can't take that first step. And I'm only encouraging you to try. I'm not at all saying to do something greater than what you're capable of right now. But I do want to encourage you to take a breath, try to take that first step, try to move forward. At the end of it all, I've learned for me that it has been a day-by-day situation. It's not something that was solved overnight. I've had better days, I've had not so great days, but I just continue to work hard and have accountability in my life. That's always been my parents, my sister. I'm married now, and so I have just really great people in my life that know my story, know my life, they know what's up, and they help walk with me through the not so great, and then we dance together on the greater days. What? I can't talk. Life's never going to be perfect, and a lot of days might not be easy, but if you're breathing right here, right now, know that you've overcome something, you've accomplished something. There was something that happened before that you never thought you would get through, and you got through it. So don't compare your journey to somebody else's. Don't beat yourself up for falling back if you have. You're here now, and that's all we're thinking about right here, right now. Not yesterday, not a week ago, not 6 months ago, not 45,000 years ago. You're not alone. This isn't just you. We all have our stuff, whether you're actually diagnosed with something or you're not. We all have something a little bit cray about us, and you are not alone. So don't be afraid and don't be fearful of people thinking this, that about you, blah, 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 blah. People are going to think what they want. Everybody has their own brains. It's kind of a thing. But you get to be in control of you, and you get to take care of you, and you got to love you, and you got to take care of this you. I said the same thing twice, but it's because it's that important. It's twice as important. It's very important that you take care of yourself. So please, if you're going through something, if you feel like you're at the end, if you feel like you just can't take it anymore, if you feel like you just want to give up, please talk to someone, call someone, reach out to someone, send a text message and say, I need to talk. We need to figure this out together. If you have to go a step further and see a counselor or a therapist, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. If you have to take further steps with your therapist or your doctor, that's okay. I understand that. I had to go back on medication in my early 20s for my anxiety. That was the step that I had to take for that exact season in my life. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You are not alone in this. Like, you're not the only person that's ever dealt with this stuff. Just take a deep breath. Take a small step if you can't take a big one right now, and you're going to be okay. And last but not least, if you have a friend that's going through any of this stuff, make sure that you seek help for them immediately. I know that it can feel like it's your job to fix it and to solve it, and it's not. You gotta get them help, especially if they're under 18. Call their parent, call their teacher, call their pastor, call their youth leader immediately. Even if you think you might lose a friendship, it's more important to save a life. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that it was encouraging to you. If you liked any of this, then feel free to leave a comment. You don't have to tell your whole story, but I just want to know, well, you know, I think we all want to know we're not alone in some kind of way. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. I missed you already.